November 22nd, 1963.
We were the #1 station in probably Texas for news.
Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy and their official party began their Texas tour yesterday morning.
Dallas is buzzing. The president arrives in Texas.
I was in the KLIF studios.
In a split second,
I had my news prepared for the 1 o'clock.
Gary DeLaune's life, career, and the country would change forever.
This is Gary DeLaune, the KLIF newsroom.
Moments after shots ring out in Dealey Plaza.
I call my source at the police department. She said, yes, I go on the air.
Mr. DeLaune, a 30-year-old reporter, would be the first person to broadcast the shooting of John F. Kennedy.
The police department is still trying to confirm the fact that President Kennedy and Governor John Connally have been wounded.
As the news spreads, Gary recalls the chaos.
According to the latest reports, both have been cut down by at least 3 bullets that pierced the atmosphere as the motor...
DeLaune's reports would be heard on 350 radio stations worldwide.
I didn't think about it. I just reported it.
With the young president dead and a nation gripped with grief, Gary remembers trying to check his emotions.
It was just an unbelievable afternoon that you don't think could ever happen to you or to your city and to your president.
2 days later, Gary would find himself not just broadcasting history, but witnessing it.
This was early Sunday morning. I said, I feel like I've got to go. I have a feeling about this.
With Kennedy's alleged assassin in custody.
The car was supposed to back down at a time when they could just bring Oswald out and push him into the floorboard and drive up.
Gary DeLaune was standing just a few feet from Lee Harvey Oswald.
I just see this shadow coming out of my peripheral vision, and then bang.
An armed Jack Ruby would pump lead into Oswald.
It's like a flower blossoming. It just explodes when I'm knocked back over a rail.
While police tackle Ruby and whisk Oswald to the hospital, Gary races to his studio a block away.
Gary DeLaune, who was on the scene at the moment, has come rushing in. He can't even talk now.
These are the actual KLIF recordings from that day.
A shot rang out from right above our heads, and I was knocked to the ground. In the mad scramble, it was pandemonium and confusion.
You know, when you're a fairly young newsman and you haven't had that great experience, you're not always sure if you're going to do the right thing.
Nearly a half-century later,
it was just a fascinating time.
The momentous event remains fresh with this veteran reporter.
I think what they need to do is just to say, let's hope it never happens again.
Gary remains fiercely proud of his work those dark days, a November he'll always remember.
If I played even a footnote on a page of history, to me it will all be worth it because of the significance and the tremendous importance of that particular weekend almost 50 years ago.